Welcome to the Profits in Pajamas podcast. I'm Danielle Detiege, or Coach Danni D, and I help women entrepreneurs and professionals to achieve their personal success stories that include joy, fulfillment, and balance. This is where we talk about how to build your business in a way that allows you to work with ease, be successful, and enjoy your life. My happy place is spending as much time in my PJs as humanly possible. And I want to help other women find their happy space while running profitable businesses or having a successful career. So get comfortable and let's dig in. Hello and welcome to the Profits in Pajamas podcast. I am your host, Coach Danni D, always here helping you to find that balance, that life that you really enjoy. And, now that the book is out, just redefining success, right? We need to, come to the success that is meaningful to us, not just checking the boxes that mean something to somebody else. So today I have a beautiful guest on the show, and I'm just excited to talk to her because every time we have a conversation, it's just such a great conversation. So that's number one. Two, if you are watching as opposed to listening, she just has like an infectious smile. Like she's one of those people. I have like a short list of people that like I cannot be around them and not also smile because
Oh,
they just have like this like joyous smile. So I'm gonna introduce her and just let her get in because I want y'all to get to know her. When I meet great people, I want y'all to know the great people that I know, right? So Asia is an illustrator and a visual note taker. And I'm gonna have her tell y'all more about that because I didn't even know that was a thing, but I'm obsessed with it now that I do know that it's a thing, right? Um, she's born and raised in New Orleans. She has a passion for storytelling and sharing information through visual means. She currently resides in New Orleans with her husband, her toddler, and her cat, which is so cute. So
yeah.
welcome, 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 Asia. Um, I'm gonna give you an opportunity, one, to just tell us about your entrepreneurial journey, and then we're just gonna like flow from there because I love your energy.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate you. And thank you for having me. So yeah, I'm Asia. I am an illustrator. And that has been my lifelong passion. I remember being in the third grade and picking up how to draw books with my brother and cousin, and then it was just all uphill from there. Definitely not downhill. Um, I got my degree in studio art, thinking I was going to be working in galleries and museum curation. And that is not how it panned out. Much like life, it takes you where it takes you. And I ended up working in a nonprofit as an organizer, community organizer. And that is a job I never, ever saw myself doing. It seemed like really robust and extroverted and even a little confrontational. And like, if you know me, that is not me. I am the most introverted, the least confrontational, and just like totally low key. But that job taught me a lot about myself, a lot about my community, a lot about how like local politics work, and like gave me an appetite for learning knowledge I didn't know existed and didn't know I wanted to know, and like taught me how to be uh, a fuller person, a more engaged person, and it didn't have to compromise the introvertedness. It didn't mean confrontation, but it did mean like using your voice and speaking up a little bit. And that's where I learned I had it. Now, all that to say is it really pushed me further into like this drive for storytelling and eventually visual note taking. A lot of community organizing is meeting other people and forming relationships. And
Hmm.
naturally, as you do that, you are learning other people's story. You're learning more than just a name and a face, even for like figures who we see on TV, like your political figures, mayor, city council, just all of those people who you're like name, face, position. They all have stories too. They're all people
Right.
too. They have interest.
Right.
They have backgrounds. And so community organizing is getting to know those people, those stories, and what drives them. And so as I'm working this, I'm learning this new skill. I am like diving deep into storytelling. And so maybe about 4 or 5 years into this work, I had a baby. I have a beautiful baby boy. He is a year and a half now, and everything I do, everything I want to be, like revolves around him and his fulfillment and his happiness. And as much as I love the community organizing work, it was a huge part of my life and a huge part of my time.
Yeah.
And I was feeling this need to be spending a lot of that time with him.
Yeah.
He was growing, he was reaching his first year milestones. And while I was doing something really important and really meaningful, I was missing that other part that was meaningful.
Yes. Yeah.
And so I made the difficult decision to resign from my organizing career and spend more time with the baby, and have not regretted that a day since. It's been 5 months now. So I
Okay.
stepped down December 2025, and immediately I was like, I have this time, I have this capacity. I learned to take risks on myself and others through organizing. Let me take another risk and do what I've always wanted to do and start my illustration business. And so I launched that probably mid-January. So like things were rolling
Mm-hmm.
because I had this time with him, and I wanted him to see his mom doing something that was meaningful to her.
Yes.
It
I love
was,
that.
even though it's not a guarantee, it only isn't if you like let it not be. Like if
I
you
was
don't
about to
want
say,
to
you look,
find
I was
success.
gonna let you finish, but I was gonna correct you.
Right,
I was gonna
right.
the reason why, like, because I'm listening to your story and the things that are coming out for me. So, like, the first thing that came out for me is like sometimes God puts us in positions that feel counterintuitive, right? Like, but they are to round us out in a way that we need.
Absolutely.
Like, like you said, you didn't have to give up being introverted to do the
Hmm.
position. You didn't have to be controversial. You can come to that position as you are
Hmm.
and do
Yep.
that position, but that position also, because it's outside of who you are, naturally stretches you in other ways, right?
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah,
because
that's
I've
exactly
experienced
right.
that. I've
That's
experienced that. Like, I'm
exactly right.
like, I'm not this, but being in this environment made me more that way so that I could, like, I needed that for the next phase.
Hmm. Yep.
But,
I'm so glad you said that need. I needed that. I
right,
needed to be stretched that way because
right.
it
So, like,
wouldn't
when the
have
next thing
what I'm
came,
doing now.
yes,
Right. It won't work if I hadn't been,
right,
put in those situations, if I hadn't learned these new skills or even like these new facets about myself. I cannot do what I'm doing now without having been there.
right. Like, because you cannot, in my opinion, you cannot be a business owner and not be a risk taker and not be, there's a certain boldness that you have to have. You don't always feel that way, but there's a certain boldness that you
Mhm.
have to put yourself out there in that way.
Yeah. Yeah. I at times it felt like I was like in organizing, I was like, I cannot do this. This is not for me. And you have to like feel those thoughts, you have to recognize them, and then you're not pretending to be someone else. You're not like putting them away, like get rid of that. You're like honoring those thoughts and those feelings,
Right.
and you're letting it guide you. There was so many times I felt anxiety about public speaking or like meeting with a leader or just like having to have difficult conversations. And I didn't like shy away from it, even though I wanted to, but I let those anxieties kind of guide like my next steps. So,
Right.
what is it that's making me anxious about meeting this person or saying these things? Okay, I hear that. I feel that. Here's how I can navigate with that. And I do not think I could be the entrepreneur I am, the business owner that I am without having experienced that. Because honestly, at the start of organizing, if you had told me like, you're really capable of starting a business. You love illustration, art is your thing. Why don't you just make a business out of it? I would have laughed. I would have been like, no, I do not have the savvy for business. I don't even know what being an entrepreneur means.
Right.
But like it was always there. I
Right.
just needed to be stretched in this way that is seemingly unrelated, but like is really like a direct path to what I'm doing now. I needed to
No.
like feel that. And now I have that confidence now to be like, yeah, I do have that skill. I am capable. I don't even have like this scarcity mindset anymore.
Right.
Like, oh, there's not enough work. There's so
Right.
many people better than I am. My mindset is much more abundance focused. Like, there's plenty of work out there. I
Right.
have plenty of skill and know how to accomplish that. Things might not always be easy, but I know that I am capable of making sure I find success.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think especially when you do because you did the hard thing, right? Like you did the thing that felt like it didn't make sense for you to do or be able to do. And it's something about that that's like, well, if I could do this,
Hmm.
I think I can take this over here. But like you said, you need those like lessons
Yeah.
to it all comes together. I think it's like, sometimes there are like movies that are like kind of like disjointed in how they show you, they flip back in time and
Yeah.
all of this stuff like that. And you don't really understand what you're watching until you get to a certain point, and then you're like, oh.
Hmm.
And I feel like life is
Like,
like that a
oh,
lot. Like it's like, why, what was this? And
right.
and then you get to the end and you like,
Oh,
okay,
oh,
okay.
I see.
That seemed like it had nothing to
Oh,
do with this movie,
right.
but
Oh,
apparently it was like a big plot point
yeah.
in the movie.
My bad. I thought we were like off on another tangent.
Right. I'm
Oh,
like,
I
I
get
thought
it
this was
now.
gonna hit the cutting room floor. Like this was not like, what was this?
It's
But then
always
it's
at that point, I'm like, this could have used another rewrite. What were they thinking here?
right,
And
right.
then at the end, it's like, oh, I just didn't see
Oh,
the bigger, the
I
bigger
didn't
vision.
see, I was too close. I was
I was too
obviously
close.
too
Yeah.
close. I was
I
obviously
apologize.
too close. But so yeah, one side was just like the past and how that past like leads us to like where we are right now, right? But the other thing is like leaning in and trusting and having faith in the fact that the thing that you want can be a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like even when it sounds like crazy, like it's
Mm-hmm.
like, you
Oh my gosh,
know,
yes.
I don't know. Is this really a job? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But like knowing, okay, I know I want to be present in my family life, right? I know I want to have this holistic success. And I know I have this talent that
Mm-hmm.
can take me there, but I also know that this path is untraditional.
Yeah.
And having that courage to step into it. Like
Yes. Yeah.
it's just
Exactly.
something about that I think a lot of times people are held hostage because of that fear that the thing won't work out.
Mhm. Right. I mean, and it's not even your fault having that fear. That's kind of built in through society. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've heard the term starving artist before I ever heard successful artist or career artist.
Right,
I mean,
right,
honestly, it took getting to college and having professors who were working artists and who were successful in living a life before realizing, oh, maybe this is a thing. Maybe that's something I can pursue.
right,
But you also, just as much as you hear those like naysayers and those negative voices, you do have to seek out the ones who can bolster your positivity and your confidence. And so I really had to surround myself with people who are like, no, this is possible. If
right,
this is something you want, this is an opportunity. There are opportunities. They're not like closed doors. This is unconventional, but it is real. It
right,
exists. I
right,
mean, the arts are everywhere. We, myself included, take for granted like how prevalent it is in our lives, the books we read, the TV
right.
we watch, even like the commercials.
No, I'm a visual person, so like it's always like shocking to me how much people disregard the visual,
Mhm.
right? Like, and I'm like, the phrase you eat with your eyes first, like it's like something about like presentation that draw people in. Like when you go to the store, you know, there's like 15 of the same item on the shelf, but the one with the certain packaging is going to draw you in every time.
Yep,
And that's the one that, like, probably costs like $10 more than the rest of
yep,
them.
yep.
But you're gonna pick it up and you're gonna buy it and you're gonna walk out the
Every,
store with it
every
because
time, every time.
because it gave you a feeling, right? Like there's
Yeah.
emotion tied to visuals.
Yeah, absolutely. I am so bad about it. That's why you really can't take me just anywhere because I'm the one who picks up the items because I like the packaging.
Yes.
Yeah, it is $10 more, but
I'm a
look how
sucker
pretty it
for it.
is.
I am a sucker for it. I'm like, all you did was take these three items that was already on the shelf and you put them in a little box with a bow on it. And I'm like, I need that.
I need that one. Look how cute it is.
I'm like, and it's not even something that I'd even need. Like I'm just like, yes, I need these
That's
adult diapers that are wrapped up in a bow. Like I
look
just
how
wrap
cute they
them up
are.
for me. Just
Right.
wrap them up. Like
Exactly.
but it visuals matter, right? Like visuals give
Yes.
us certain cues, they remind us of things, they matter
Mhm.
so much.
Exactly. And that, to kind of take it back to the visual note taking is why it's so meaningful and so important to me. Because, yes, you can have a conference, a retreat, even a board meeting, and you can have minutes, long documents of like everything that everybody said, word for word, or you can capture it in a way that one hits all the important points, two, you know that the people in the room, their voice is being heard, and then three, adding those visuals that mean something. They elicit emotion, they elicit response, and they capture the imagination and just like your brain in general in a way that, oh, this matters, this is important, look at this, I remember that now. And then you have the knowledge and the information that you can share easily, more accessibly. This is what matters to people. And
Yeah.
so like organizing is how I even learned about visual note taking. Like you said, you didn't know it was a thing before. I didn't either. I didn't either, and I'm the
I
one
was
who was
like, wait, what?
illustrating.
I went to your website and I started looking, and I'm just like, oh my God. And then you add to it my ADHD brain. I'm like, oh my God.
Yep.
Because let me tell you, the worst thing in the world to me is somebody to send me a long message that don't have no bullet points, it don't have no pictures in it. It has
Mhm.
nothing but just continuous
Like,
words.
yep.
And I'm like,
Full.
I have zoned out. Like,
I'm gone.
I've zoned out. Like, you have to catch my attention. I will read it, but I need to know the end and then go back, right? Like, I need to be able
Right.
to see
Right.
something that catches my attention, and then I'm like, "Oh, this is about this." And then I
Yep.
understand why I'm reading this. But
Yes.
if you don't do that, then now you got this long document, and if I do actually take the time to sit down and read it and it's not important, guess who's gonna be mad?
It exactly.
Guess who's gonna be mad? Because now you have wasted my time and my focus brain. My focus
Right.
brain is not always on, and I need
It
to
is
save it.
fleeting. It is fleeting. Exactly. I need to save it.
I need to save it for important things. I don't need a 14-page document
No.
that says absolutely nothing.
Right. And that is how that's not even like uncommon. That's how most people learn and retain information is if it's like short to the point, and then there's something like visual that you can like attach onto. I mean, most of us do it anyway, like as we're listening and writing notes. Have you ever just like found yourself drifting off to the side and doodling something?
Right,
That's your
right.
brain saying like I
I
need
need
something
something to make this
to
stick,
anchor onto. Exactly.
to make it
I need
stick.
to anchor. And so that's what I'll do in a meeting or an event is like find the things that make it stick. What are the keywords? And it's so cool because like it is not something that you can really use AI for, which I use AI as a tool, but I
Right,
don't use it to replace like real human interaction. And so I'll be listening for like those keywords, and like if something hits me, probably hit the rest of the room. And I
right,
can see how the rest of the room is reacting. Some things fly over my head.
right,
And if the rest of the room is like, oh wow, yeah. I'm like, oh, okay, write that one down.
right.
Draw something there because that's
But
important.
what's cool about that, even that part of it, is having that outside perspective, right? So in my, past life when I worked for other people, I often was the note taker for meetings and stuff like that. And, no matter what position I was in, because I was like particularly good at catching themes, like
Mm-hmm.
most of the other, like I was the office manager, but most of the admins like literally wrote down every word that was said, like they tape recorded it and tried to transcribe it. It was like a whole
Yeah.
thing. And because I had a greater understanding of what was going
Mm-hmm.
on, I could catch themes. And so
Yeah.
you didn't have to read the entirety of the meeting. This happened.
Yeah.
This is what happened, right? But I think sometimes having that outsider view,
Mm-hmm.
because there have been many meetings where I was like, I know I'm just supposed to be taking notes, but hold up now. Like, first of all, y'all
Right.
been talking about this for too long.
Right.
And secondly, why don't y'all just do this? Like,
Yep. Yeah, you
because I'm not
capture.
in it, I'm hearing it. I'm hearing what you're not hearing as the
Mm-hmm.
participants. Like, a lot of times everybody's hearing it from their own lens.
Yep. Yep.
And so to have somebody who understands it but is not in it,
Yep.
capturing it.
Yeah. Just like you said earlier, if you're too close to it, you don't see that bigger picture. I will be honest with you, I am never going to be too close to any like science or medical or any math related thing. So I am your girl. I
Right.
am
Like,
not too
look,
close.
broad strokes. I got broad
Right.
strokes.
I can capture the bigger picture.
And see, I'm not a memorization person either. So I am a concept person.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to understand the concept and then I can piece it together. But like the sciences, where you had to be like, this is connected to that. Look, I got through those courses by the grace of God.
Yes.
Like
I was
literally by the grace of God. I was like, never again.
hanging on by a thread.
Right. I'm like, what? Who? What? No, my brain does not work this way. Like, and on the flip side, like anything that involves concepts, man, I passed a entire pop quiz on a book that I never read. And my friend was like so mad with me because she got a C on the same quiz. She was like, "You ain't even read the book." I was like, "But I could figure out based on how the question was worded. It
Exactly.
was only so many ways you could go with this. So
Exactly.
I just took a stab in the dark." And she was like, "I hate you." And I'm like, "I'm sorry.
I just
This is how my brain works. Sorry."
right. It was built for you.
Right. Look. But that's the other thing I love about, like, I feel like both of us are in kind of non-traditional fields. I think
Mhm.
um embracing how your brain works, embracing the things about you that make you you, as opposed to, like I'm in a neurodivergent group, right? And actually I'm interviewing later this week. I'm interviewing the like leader of the group. But a lot of times I see posts where people are trying so hard to make themselves quote unquote normal, like, and I think that that creates such stress.
Yes.
It's like everything seems so hard and people feel so defeated. And I've been there
Mhm.
before. And I realize that the more I just allow myself to be how I am
Hmm.
and just make those workarounds that work for me. Like, you could tell me 1,000 times that this is the answer and everybody should do this. That don't work for me. So I'm I'm gonna be
Right.
over here doing
Right.
something different. Like,
Right. As long as I get from point A to B, how I get there is my journey. And
right.
I was that person who was trying so hard to mask and pretend I was doing it just like everyone else. And it does. It creates so much stress.
So
It is so
stressful.
difficult. And then you build resentment towards yourself. It's like,
Right.
why can't I just be normal? But
Right.
who
And
is
I don't think
defining what
anybody is
normal?
normal.
As I get older, I'm like, oh, we
I'm
are all
like, ain't
going through it.
nobody is normal. Everybody just has different stuff, but
Yeah.
nobody's normal. And I just, yeah, just lean into what makes sense for you.
Yeah.
Like, stop trying to, you just bang your head against the wall 1,000 times
Mhm.
because people said that you should be able to get in through the wall. Maybe the wall is not the way for you.
It's
Like,
not the way. How do I get
look,
around the
there
wall?
is
Do I
a
go
door
underneath?
right there. Just open that
Yeah.
door and walk on through.
Hmm.
But it's okay to be different. I
Hmm.
know that the world doesn't tell us that, but it's okay to be different. And like even when I first started like down this rabbit hole of like ADHD, and now I'm like down this ADHD rabbit hole, right?
Yeah.
When I first started down this rabbit hole and when I talk to certain people that I know, they're like, "Nah." And I'm like, "Yes." And they're like, "Nah." And I'm like, "Yes." Like, you may not see it because you're not inside my brain.
Right.
Like,
Right.
that's why they have terms like highly functioning. Like,
Yeah.
you
Right.
don't see it.
But I feel it. I
Right? I
spent,
feel it. Like, or I am a problem solver by nature. So a lot of things, like when I'm listening to content and like symptoms and different things, I'm
Mhm.
like, hmm. Like I never realized that that was a
Right.
symptom because I've always been me. So
You just live with it.
I didn't know that there was a different way to be. But as a problem solver, I tend to come up
Hmm.
with my own workarounds, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But
Exactly. You're like,
that
I'm
doesn't
gonna
mean that the
figure this
thing
out.
doesn't exist, though.
Right. You're like, I'm gonna figure this out.
Right,
Something something's not clicking, but it's okay. It will click.
right,
It fine. I mean, I spend so much time justifying why, like, oh, I don't have ADHD. That I wasn't the hyperactive kid in school.
never,
I wasn't bouncing off the walls. I'm the
never.
one who got an A in conduct.
Right,
But I was the one who was daydreaming half the
yes,
time and then tried to try and figure out how I'm gonna catch up. And I did. And it
right,
finally took like telling a doctor all of this. She's like, let me just ask you a few questions. She's like, were you the daydreamer in school? How did you do on tests? And I was like, oh, I did great on tests because I crammed and
right,
memorized everything because I wasn't paying attention. And she was like, so when it comes to paying the bills, do you take care of that or does your husband? Not because you're incapable, but just, how does the responsibility fall? And I was like, oh, he takes care of that. I would never remember all of them all at the same time. And she's like, yeah, that's ADHD. And I was like, oh,
right.
and you like start now, like the light bulb goes off. I'm like, oh, yeah, okay, I was doing this differently and just kind of like suppressing that or ignoring it or trying to hide it because other people weren't doing it like that. And I was trying to fit into
To
this
do it that
mold.
way, because I'm like, well, what y'all do y'all have some secrets somewhere? What are y'all doing?
Right. How
Like, how?
could never figure out how they were doing it that way when my way was working.
Right,
But that's just the thing. My way worked for me. It won't
right.
work
And
for
so I'm just
everybody
like,
else.
you know what? I'm gonna do this. I don't care what y'all doing. I'm
Right.
like,
Right.
I don't have to show my work. I
I
just
don't
have to get to
right.
the solution.
Yep. Yep.
But I think that that's what sent me down the ADHD like rabbit hole. So that's where I'm at now. And because I always tell people, like I've always struggled, like when you take those like personality tests and stuff, and I'm
Hmm.
like, both of these things are true.
Yeah.
Like, which answer do both of them are true. And like
Right.
most things in my life are duality. And so
Hmm.
I'm like, that explains that for me.
Hmm.
Because I am the one that does the bills. But then there are other things that, like, my husband is in charge of my medication.
Right.
Because I'm never going to take it if I have to be responsible for remembering to take it every day. Like,
Yep.
so it's like, it's that's making a lot of stuff make sense for me. Like, I'm like,
Hmm.
okay, this is why you are like very, very this way, but also completely
Yeah.
this other way. And that
Right.
coexist.
People
And
contain multitudes. And a lot of it is like what you had to learn how to be really good at to get by
right,
in like the society cookie cutter shape. It doesn't fit everybody. In fact, it fits a very narrow certain someone's.
right.
It does
I'm like,
not fit
whose cookie
everybody,
cutter
but we
is
all had to
this?
learn. I don't know a single person that fits it.
Because I see so I used to bake and in like so I'm still in a lot of like baking groups and every so often somebody comes and they've like bought a box of like, cookie cutters from like a garage sale or somewhere and they're like, what is this one? And they post it and everybody's like trying to like answer and finally somebody will come up with a picture of like the
Hmm.
cookie that they decorated with it or whatever. And but I mean, I think that that's what it is. It's like you just like
Hmm.
made this up, and then now you want people to like live that. And I think more people are struggling with that than not.
Yeah, they are. I mean, even with like visual versus auditory learning, only 30% of people can like learn efficiently through just auditory means. But schools and the education system is set up for that 30%. You've got a teacher lecturing and giving notes. Very little is geared towards like the visual presentation. Then you've got a huge subset who are like kinesthetic learners, and so you have to be like doing something while you're
Right.
learning. I think
Right.
it's like something crazy, like 70% of people, and there
No.
is no outlet for that.
Well, so even even if the visual is not deeply connected to the audio, like let's say like like sometimes people may not have like a PowerPoint or something, right?
Hmm.
But they're up there lecturing. Even just having something for my brain to focus on, like
Yep.
the visual part of me, will keep me more
Yeah.
engaged in what you're saying. Because if you
Hmm.
just keep talking and I don't have anything else going on, I
I
let's pray
it,
for us all. Like
right, it's not gonna stick.
let's pray for us all. Like cuz and if you're not getting to it fast,
Oh, it's gone.
Jesus, you got if you got to go, 30 minutes before I get to I have checked all the way out.
Gone. It's gone. I'm
Like I've
gone.
checked out. Like I don't know what's happening and I can't like I need something and I think it either has to be visual or it has to be tactile. So
Mhm.
cuz I'm thinking about even when I listen to audiobooks, I usually listen to audiobooks when I'm inflating balloons.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yep.
so I can like concentrate on them. But like the other day, I was like just listening to a book, just kind of like sitting around, and I was like, what she just said?
Yeah, you have to rewind.
What did
I
she say? Like,
right. God, I
but
didn't catch it.
I did not catch it. But, saying all this to say embrace like who you
Mhm.
are and how you are, it makes life so much easier.
Yes, it's
Like now
easier.
that I'm unapologetic about who I am. And I will say to people, like I like somebody said something to me and I was like, that's not gonna work for me.
Hmm.
And they were arguing with me. I'm like, you can keep arguing with me all you want. I've been knowing me my whole life. That's not gonna work for me. I'm gonna figure it out though, but thank you for
Hmm.
the information. I met me before. If it
Right.
requires routine, it's probably not going to work. Like I can have routine for 2.5 to 3 business days. And then I need to
Yeah,
be
it's
free
gone.
and then rinse and repeat.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
So if it can't work within that,
It's
then
just, yeah, it's nothing wrong with what you're offering to me. It just doesn't
it's just
work for
not gonna
me.
work for me. I need a different way. Thank you for the information and I will figure this out
Right. Right.
on my
And
own.
that's worth celebrating, I think. I
Yes.
think like learning that about me and like finally accepting like, oh yeah, I've known me my whole life.
Right.
This is how I operate.
Right.
Why am I pretending that someone else knows better for me
Right.
than I do? Not to
Right.
say like they can't offer advice or helpful
Right. No, I
tips,
love
but
hearing different perspectives because sometimes somebody will have I call them cheat codes, people call them life
mhm,
hacks or whatever. Somebody
yeah,
will have a cheat code that I'm like, what? Let me try
mhm,
that. That sounds
yeah,
like it might work. And,
yep,
so I've learned such great things from people about like unconventional ways that they do things, but we have to stop like ostracizing people
mhm,
for finding an alternate way. It's just another path. Like,
exactly,
you know, 2 plus 2 is 4. 3 plus 1 is also 4. I
yep,
mean, you know,
yep.
we can get there different ways and
Mhm.
still get
It's
there.
the same answer. Yep. Yep.
Yes.
And
So,
that I really think that's like when you find that and like embrace that,
yes.
celebrate it. It does
Yes.
not make you weird. It does not make you a lesser person. It makes you, in this regard, it makes you the same as everyone else because
Right.
everyone else is figuring out a way for them to
Right.
get.
Just nobody wants to say it because they don't want to be the weirdo. And
They
it's
don't want to
like,
do it right.
it works for me. Um,
Yeah.
and just yeah, it's just something freeing about that, being able
Hmm.
to just lean into. I feel like we're all created with certain strengths, and
Hmm.
you lean into those things and embrace those things because like I know for me, like this has helped other people, right?
Hmm.
Like even when I was in school, like you were talking about being in school, like I said, I'm a concept person. So once I get the concept, I got it. Like you don't have to keep talking. I
Right.
got it. I can figure out the details of it all. But I was always like, 5 minutes into the class, I'm like, all right, I got it. Like I'm good.
Hmm. Yeah.
And then you have the people in the class that are like struggling to understand. And like you said, it's one way. We just teaching one way,
Right.
which is insane to me.
Right.
We're just teaching one way. We're not like, trying to accommodate all the different learning styles.
Hmm.
And so, kind of back to our earlier point of like side quests that you didn't understand.
Yeah.
I didn't understand that me as a student, as a child, a teen, an adult was the preparation for me to become an instructor.
Hmm.
Because I was the person that I understood 15 minutes ago, and somebody back there is still lost. And
Yeah.
I would be the person to raise my hand and be like, say, think about it like this. If,
Right.
this, or this, and then this, and they'd be like, oh, all right, teacher, you
Right.
could keep going now. You can move on
Right.
to the next thing. So I would always be the person to like bridge that gap
Hmm.
for other people. It started off selfishly from I'm tired of talking about this.
Right. Right. Like, why aren't you getting this?
I tell a funny story. One of my good friends, her daughter, when she was in kindergarten, she was like one of the accelerated students, and they would pair them off with somebody who was like struggling. And so they paired her off with another student, and she told the teacher, look, I'm tired of working with her. I
Oh.
already understand M. She's still stuck on this M. We've been doing this for a week. I was like, oh. I'm like, okay, well, speak your truth, little girl. Speak your truth.
Right.
But
She said she's
it
over it.
really started off just from like me being like, because I'm watching the teacher just repeat the same thing.
Hmm.
They didn't get it the first 42 times you said it in that way. Like, where's the versatility? Where's the
Right.
ability
Yeah.
to reach people where they are?
Yeah, that's the exact right word. Where's the versatility? And it like being the mom of a toddler, I'm like getting that in ways I never have before. I'm like, okay, where is the breakdown? I said we can have cereal for breakfast. You want cereal for breakfast. Why are we throwing a tantrum because you got cereal?
Look,
Oh, okay.
that's a
It's not the right cereal. Okay.
look, that's a whole thing. Like, children will, oh Lord, they will test your inner gangster. That's all I can say. Because I'm like, so for the last 365 days, you have eaten broccoli. Favorite, I want trees, mommy. I want trees. Okay. I got you some little trees on the plate. I don't eat this. Excuse me? Now, for you to say I don't want this,
That's
I,
one thing.
I could understand. But for you to say I don't eat this, I have documented proof that you absolutely do, sir.
Right.
Like,
Where's the
what are
breakdown?
we
What
doing?
happened?
What are
What
we
happened?
doing? Like, we just making up like, no, children will definitely change, and like they will bring out the flexibility in
Oh,
your thinking because you like, what?
the mental gymnastics that has to happen.
Because they're
to
highly intelligent, but also inarticulate at the same
I
time.
know. I'm like, oh my gosh. And
Like,
I can't
what?
tell him to use his words because he doesn't have the words yet.
He's like, I don't
He's
have that
one.
many yet, but I
He's
just need you
one.
to understand.
Right. And I'm like, Mama is trying.
Like, what are you talking about, sir? Like, I can remember one time we had like a little TV tray and a chair in our bedroom, like at the foot of the bed, for when he would wake up early on like Sunday, on like the weekends or whatever, like that. And one time this child came in the room at like 3 o'clock in the morning and sat down at the little chair and said, I want some oatmeal, sir. It is 3 a.m.
Go to bed.
What are we doing? It's not breakfast time. And he was so ever so serious, sat down and was just ready. And I'm like, if you don't go lay down somewhere.
It is the sun is not out.
I don't know what time you think it is, but and I
Right.
understand you
Right.
don't know how to tell time, but that's beside the point, sir. It is 3 a.m. I am asleep. Like there will be
Yes.
no oatmeal.
No. That one is not happening.
There will be no oatmeal. Lay down.
That's what we'll work on next.
Lay down. And in a few hours,
Yeah.
we can talk about
It's
oatmeal.
so funny.
But yeah, they change. I think they change your like how you think about things, but they also change how you move.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Like, like you say, like you wanted to be there more, right? But then
Mm-hmm.
also you want to set this example for them
Mm-hmm.
as well. And I think for me, in times where things might have been hard, like, like when you're like, oh, okay, this is a journey, this is
Yes.
because entrepreneurship is a journey and it's more a journey, I think, of self than it is of business.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like,
I'm
like,
starting to get that picture.
right? No, girl, girl, because I feel like to be successful, to be mentally strong, to like endure all of the things that happen in business, you have to do your self work.
Mm-hmm.
And like, no matter how much together you may have felt before the process, during the process, you're like, oh, I need to still work on that
Yeah.
part of myself, right? Or
Right.
I need to get more comfortable with this. I need to learn how not to take this personally,
Mhm.
like I need to
Yeah.
see the bigger picture. It's like you have to work out all of those personal things
Mm-hmm.
so that you can be the best leader in your business.
Right, right, right. You really have to lean in and have a whole lot of grace with yourself because there
Yes.
is like
Yes.
want like I am a total perfectionist. I want to do it right and I want to do it perfectly the first time around. And so I really have to do that daily work to tell myself it is okay. It's not going to happen right the first time, not even the first couple of times, maybe not even the first dozen times. It's going to be okay because you're learning. And so I'm learning how to model that for myself because I'm like, oh, I can't teach the baby that because
Right.
I already see like
Right.
that in his personality. Like if
Mm-hmm.
he can't get it right the first time, he's upset and he doesn't want to do it anymore. And I can't show up for him and be like, it's okay, we'll do it again if
Right.
I'm also
If
doing
you're
the
not
exact same thing. So like you said, it is daily work. And it's like having this grace where you don't run away from that.
right,
You really like you have to lean in and work on it, work through it if you want to succeed, that see that success.
right.
That's,
Absolutely.
a lot of people are like, success isn't guaranteed, this, that, and the other, but it kind of is. It's just dependent on
No.
what you do and what you're willing to do.
Is you willing to put in the work? And I want to put a caveat to that because some people think that's grind, and that's not what I
Mm-hmm.
mean. Is you willing to do the difficult things, like you said,
Mm-hmm.
work through it? Because a lot of times we just chalk it to the game, or we
Mm-hmm.
try to sweep it under the rug, we go around
Yeah.
it, and then we
Mm-hmm.
wonder why we're continuing to struggle. You have to go through it. You have to, figure that thing out and get that done. But it's also having commitment, having courage, having faith, right?
Yes.
Like, I think that a lot of what I see often is when people reach that point of uncertainty and fear, they retreat. And so
Mm-hmm.
some abandon the business altogether and they start something different, and the cycle keeps repeating
Mm-hmm.
because no matter what you do, that moment is going to happen.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So you just keep retreating every time the moment happens. And so now people think you schizophrenic because you got like 4,000
Right.
things that you,
We did.
and
Yeah.
it's like, what you doing this week? Like,
Right. Yeah, everybody's got that uncle or whoever who's like, I got another business venture. And it's
and
like,
it's like,
okay,
okay, well, this is 25. And
you're right, okay.
like, and it never like even makes sense to like, you're like, what?
Another, okay,
Like, what?
okay.
Okay. Okay.
Like, I know
But
how this
so
is gonna play out.
you have to work through it. That's like a part of it. Um, and I think you have to, I'm a big believer that you have to have a wire connection behind what you do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because for me, that's the grounding force when I don't feel like it.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm in my head, when I'm,
Yeah.
like literally to the extent that like my husband can vouch for this. There have been times where I have been so sick, like not moved all day sick, but I had a workshop or I had a, podcast interview or I had a whatever. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna pull all the energy that I have to do this one thing, and then I'm like checking back out, getting back in bed.
Mm-hmm.
And I like when I get off that call, he's like, you look different.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, how you feeling? You don't look like you were looking earlier, because it's
Yeah.
that energy from
Yeah.
being fueled by that why
Mm-hmm. Oh
that
yeah.
really kind of pulls you through, the tough times. But that's also faith, because sometimes
Mm-hmm.
it's
Like,
gonna look a little
not,
grim,
yeah, it's not looking so good right now.
right?
But
But you have to again push through that
mm-hmm.
moment, because that's just the nature of business. It's
Mm-hmm.
gonna ebb and flow.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm so glad you said that. Your why is the only reason you should have a business or you should be an entrepreneur. If
Yeah.
you are out there chasing success boxes or just like the idea of success, like I need X amount of money to be successful, or I need X amount of followers and then I'm successful, it will collapse. It's going to
Mm-hmm.
crumble. You're going to burn out. You're not going to want
Right.
to do it and you're not going to achieve it. And even if you do, maybe you do hit that mark. It doesn't mean anything.
Mm-mm.
You don't get energy from that. You get energy from your why, like
Your why, yes.
illustration and storytelling and sharing knowledge. That is my why. Seeing people light up, seeing the excitement and just like the wheels turning and the light bulbs going off, that is my why. I will do that for all time because I that's what I love to do. And the success that comes with achieving that why is like that's what's important.
Right.
I was not like, I'm going to be an entrepreneur because I want to make six figures a year and go on all these vacations. Like, don't get me wrong, I do want that.
Right, look. I'm
Definitely
not
want that.
Lord, send the vacations, Lord. I mean,
Yeah,
you know what I'm
absolutely
saying?
want that.
And I mean, and I've created a six-figure business in the balloon business, right? And that sounds insane to
Hmm.
people when I say it out loud, but it's true. But it's not because I was chasing
Hmm.
that goal. I mean, at one point I
Right.
was, right? But it's not because of that. It's because of what I put into that business,
Hmm.
right?
Yes. Yeah, it's the work you put into it, into yourself, into what you want to achieve. Those goals all come along with it, but it's like,
But
this is
it
really
can't be
cool.
solely your focus. Like I've had like, coaches and mentors that I work with suggest at that on the coaching side I lead with what I've accomplished in the balloon business. And I've always kicked back on that. And the reason being, like, I don't have a problem saying that, but that's not my hook, right?
Hmm.
Because
Yeah.
if that's what you're coming for, that's not what I'm here for. Now, if I wanted
Yeah.
to, I'm a very strategic person. I can sit here and I could tell you a million ways that you could make money like tomorrow, right? I could tell
Hmm.
that to you, but I have this whole thing about long money and short money, right? You can get short money fast. It takes a
Hmm.
lot to get to build something that has longevity. And
Hmm.
when something is not real, like I feel like everything that you described as far as success is rooted in authenticity, right? When something is not real, eventually it cracks.
Yep.
Look at how many, influencers and business owners that, they came out and everybody was worshiping them. And
Yep.
then, the fall happened and
Right.
not everybody's, talking about them. I don't live in that
Right.
community or world, so I don't really care what y'all say or think about me, to be honest. I'm sorry. Like real
Right.
talk.
Right.
Like that's just a part of being comfortable in yourself and like, knowing yourself. I'm not worried about
Yeah.
that. I'm not a part of that world. And I usually actually detract people in that world. I just had a conversation with my husband
I
about that.
it's
Like when I interact with people who are in that kind of superficial world, like it's weird energy. Like I'm like, I didn't do nothing. I don't know why
it
you're acting
is.
weird. But it makes them uncomfortable, right? They're uncomfortable
Well,
with my
yeah. I
comfort.
mean, yeah, because that world is so attractive, it's glamorous. It's like this is what we're taught we should be reaching
Right.
for. And then to have somebody say like, "Oh no, it can look like something else. It doesn't have to be like this." That is
Right.
not the definition of success or prestige. It's like mind blowing.
Like, yeah,
Like,
it's
what do
like
you
like now
mean?
you want to fight. And I'm like, okay.
Right.
I'm not
What do you
saying you can't
mean?
live your life. I'm just telling you
Sure.
how I live mine, right?
Right.
Like
Go for it.
but it becomes one that's a lot of work in my opinion to keep up those appearances and the
Yeah.
persona and all of this different stuff. That's just so much, right?
Yeah.
But two, it's not sustainable. Like something has to have
Hmm.
substance to be sustainable, right? Sustainable.
Right.
And so it's trendy, but it's not sustainable. And so that's why it's important to really get to the identity of who you are, what's your business about, who your client is, so that you are always building on that. And it's never going to be for everybody, but it's going to be absolutely perfect for who it's for.
Exactly. And that's why I really appreciate that you also teach and push back on this grind and hustle culture. Because that is another thing that's like, that is how you achieve your success. And that I think literally is the quickest way to like become miserable.
Yes.
And I can attest to that. And like
Yes.
grinding and hustling for something I didn't even care about. And like,
Right. You get to
like,
the end and you
like
like, why did I do this again?
right. And jobs pass. Like, why am I working so hard? I'm coming home miserable. I'm really not making much more money than I would be if I, took a step back and took care of myself.
Right.
And I'm burning out so fast.
Right.
Like now I'm incapable of doing more. I'm incapable of doing what I like. I'm incapable of looking for
Right.
opportunities because I was grinding for what?
Right. For that's the part. For what? Like, because there's no real reward. And for some people, some people might have been getting the six plus figures or whatever, but were you enjoying them?
Mm-hmm.
Were you living a
Right.
life that you enjoyed? I mean, and I'm not saying that that doesn't exist. There's some people that have found that balance, right? It's going to look
Mm-hmm.
different for different people.
Yeah.
I was talking to a friend the other day and we were talking about a mutual friend. She is just high energy. That is just who she is. Grass is not going to grow up under her feet. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's not
Mm-hmm.
like that is who she is at her core. And so, it's not a like forced upon thing. It's not a
Mm-hmm.
that's who she is.
That's her.
And just as much as you're gonna see her posting her work, you're gonna see her posting like, her going out with her family. That's who she is. It's at a different pace than I want to move,
Yeah.
but it's her balance, right? It's her
Mm-hmm.
definition of success. But I think so many of us are just chasing these empty things,
Yeah. Right.
like now to me the that dollar amount is like it is still a metric, but it's a part of a rubrics,
Right.
it is not
Yeah.
the sole metrics, because if it was just about making money, I'd go get a job and what I'm saying, like
Exactly. Yeah.
I could go do anything and make money. It's not about that for me, because what is the sacrifice that I have to make for that? And am I willing to make it? And at this point in my life, I
Mm-hmm.
am not.
Right. Right.
Like, I am not. Like, if it compromises the things that I value and that those things are not a priority anymore, I'm not
Then I
interested.
can't, yeah, I'm not doing it. I can't do it.
Like, I'm not interested. Like, you could walk up and say, "Well, it's $1 million, but you have to work, 24 hours a day." Yeah, okay, no, I'm good.
Like, mm-mm. Right. That's just, yeah, that's not for me.
It's not for me. It's just not for me. Or, if it compromises my values, it's just not for me.
Right.
And I'm good with standing 10 toes down in that, because what I know, and I've shared here before, I'm a faith believer. I believe in God. You don't have to believe in God, your higher power, whatever your thing is.
Hmm.
But my thing is, I know that God has never left me or forsaken me, right?
Hmm.
Like, even though sometimes it was like, okay, Lord, that light
Yes.
bill coming, the light bill coming to due.
Like, you remember, right?
Like, look, it's 11:59, Lord.
uh, I know I was told not to question your timing, but we're
I'm not
cutting it
supposed to. I'm
close
supposed to just sit here and be quiet, but I just want to give you a quick reminder, because they be sending me
just
the
in case.
reminders. I just want to remind you too. Um,
I know you're busy.
I know you're busy. It's a lot going on in the world, but I just want to make sure. I don't know. They said I'm made in your likeness. Do you also have ADHD? I don't know. I I just want to check. But I'm saying all that to say, like, I feel like when you are obedient in your calling, God will always provide.
Hmm.
And our continued obedience opens greater and bigger doors, right?
Yeah.
And so it's just continuing that walk. And sometimes, again, we retreat when things are moving slower than we thought, or, not
Hmm.
how we thought. Stay patient, right?
Yeah. It's
Nobody
that faith
starts off
aspect.
just Like, and if you see somebody that does, trust that things happen before you saw them.
Yeah. Yeah. Things were in motion a long time. When you came into the picture, that's when you saw like
You
all
saw
of
the
that
pop off.
build up. Yes. You didn't see all the build up.
Mm-mm. No, it's
Do
always a
not
journey.
compare yourself. Yeah. You cannot compare yourself to someone else's journey, someone else's success, because you just don't know. We
Right.
don't know other people's.
Right. And
You
what
just
you
have to
see
trust.
publicly is a highlight reel.
Yeah, that is the number one thing. You are
Like
seeing a
nobody
very
is posting ugly
curated.
cries at 3 a.m.
No,
on
that's not cute.
Nobody's posting that. So you're not seeing the fullness of the journey. You're
Right.
seeing the highlights. So what, and that's a part of the reason why I like this space is because you get to hear people's story. And
Mhm.
when you were sharing your story, I was thinking, like I've said it many times when someone shares their story, I have yet to meet an entrepreneur whose story is linear. Like, you know how you meet that person, they were like, when I was 3 years old, I wanted to be a doctor, and now I'm a doctor. Like,
They'll have you
entrepreneurship
believe
does
like,
not work like that.
right, right. There was nothing linear about this journey. There was twists, there was turns, there was dead ends, there was roundabouts.
Right.
I'm already bad with directions. I can't tell you
Right.
where it's
Like, you
going
like,
next.
well, now where are we? I feel like we took 14 lefts.
Right.
Are we back where we started? Or we're somewhere else? Like,
I do not know how I got here
but I'm
per
here.
se, but I'm here and I'm gonna keep going.
Right. But that's the beauty of it is that, it doesn't always make sense. It usually you get glimmers of, oh, okay, that's why that
Yeah.
happened, or oh, I kind of see something down the road. I think that's where we're going.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of how it happens, but it's just really like showing up and again being authentic, like, and
Hmm.
just continuing to do that and unlearn a whole lot of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I find myself saying a lot like how grateful I am for past experiences that I was not grateful for in the moment
Right,
because it is teaching me now, or it's like it has prepared me for now.
right.
And a lot of times it's like it has prepared me for unlearning what is holding me back.
Right, right. Because sometimes it's like, you know what? I don't ever want to do that again.
Yep. That is like,
Or learning how to learn faster, right?
mhm.
Because our stubbornness wants us to believe that it's everybody else,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
and then now I'm like, so I do this thing where I do like it's nothing formal about it. It's just a thing I mentally do. I do an after assessment of just about every situation. And it doesn't matter if I was right or wrong. I still do it. And the
That's good.
reason being that I could have been 100% right in a situation, but I also could have been better.
Mm-hmm. That's a really good practice.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what do I learn from this? That one, I try to minimize having this experience again if it was a negative
Mm-hmm.
experience.
Mm-hmm.
Or how do I maximize this? Like, this went really well. I want to duplicate this in other areas. Like, what made this go really, really well?
Mm-hmm.
But always the question is, what could I have done better in the situation? And it's not like a pressure on me. Like, I don't want people to do that because
Right. Yeah. Once you start making
I
like, yeah,
been there,
a
done that.
chore out of it.
Anxiety, perfectionism, did
Mm-hmm.
that. Trying to leave that in the past. I don't want it to be that sort of thing, but just a teachable moment sort of thing because again, you could be textbook right, but still maybe I could have put this extra communication in there that would have made a
Yeah.
difference and we wouldn't be at
Yeah.
this point right now, right? Or maybe I could, be a little more clear. Maybe I have the communication, but maybe it's not clear.
Mm-hmm.
Those type of things, like just assessing. I don't think we always do that. We just get frustrated with
Mm-hmm.
situations and we just, you
We
know,
shut down.
yeah, or we like
Anger.
double down,
Ooh, yeah.
like
Right.
I hear in entrepreneur groups all the time, like, people don't read. And I mean, I'm people and I don't read. So yeah, you're right. But most of the time I don't read because either you're not being clear or
Mhm.
you sent me that 14-page letter and I'm just like,
Right. Right. Oh, you're right. I did not read that.
no, it was overwhelming. Like I didn't
Yeah.
read it. Like, so if that's a consistent problem, what's instead of just stewing in that, what is a
Mm-hmm.
solution that you can come to
Yep.
that makes it not the problem anymore? Um, and I'm just gonna
That.
go shameless plug on this. If that's a problem that you're seeing consistently in your meetings, right? Like that people are not walking away with clear understanding, people are walking away, foggy, or they just forgot altogether what happened in the meeting, then you might need to have Asia come in there so that she could draw them a
Mhm.
good picture so they can remember.
I
Because I
promise you,
don't
it
love
is
a good
not going to
picture.
be 14 pages.
No.
It's not
And
going to
it's
be
like
pages.
right to
It's
the
going to be
point.
one.
Yes. It's right to the point. I think about like when I get a new electronic. I love when they come with that like quick start guide. It'd be like 4 pictures and I'm like, I got
Yes.
this.
Yes.
If they don't have that quick start guide, I just hand it to my husband and I just move
Yep.
on.
If it is a booklet of information, I will do it on my own. I'll figure it out.
Because I'm gonna start clicking on stuff. Because we have a new rule in the house. If I get new tech, I have to hand it to him because I will start clicking on stuff, and he's like, "So I was supposed to start from step one, but now you didn't touch it, so it's not on step one anymore." And so
Well,
that's the new rule. So I'm telling you, if it doesn't have a quick start guide, then I sit it there and I'm like, "Make my thing go,
yep,
make it
yep.
go." Like
I just just got a new iPad. There was three instructions, no words. I was like, I set it up.
I got this, and
I know how to do
so.
that.
Right. So you need to start being more innovative and accommodating to the the people that you're serving,
Mhm.
right? Like the
Yep.
audience that you're serving because you know, everybody I talk to is telling me about what neurospicy they are, right? Like,
Mhm.
so again, I don't know who is neurotypical, and I'm
Mhm.
quite sure that a lot of them just ain't figured out which one they
I
are yet.
I think it's that one. I
Because I'm like,
really
I'm
do.
sitting up there listening to you talking. I'm like,
Like, hmm.
mm.
I'm like, I know I'm not supposed to diagnose
Yeah,
people, but
look, I'm not in charge of this, but
I know what that is.
you might want to look into it.
Have you ever thought about getting diagnosed?
Right. You might want to just look into it. Friend, just watch this TikTok for me.
Yeah.
See how you
I
feel
have
after.
I have a whole TikTok collection from before diagnosis that's like, what's going on with me? And it's all videos that I'm like, oh, I relate to that.
Look, I haven't gone and gotten formally diagnosed. The closest I've gotten to diagnosed, I did a summit and the guy that was hosting it, that's his lane. It's like, he works
Hmm.
with ADHD entrepreneurs. And when they had a mixer, and at the mixer, this one of the ladies was asking a question, and I was explaining to her how I deal with what she was struggling with. And I said, I I led in with, I haven't been diagnosed. I said I've been like heavily like, getting into this and I'm pretty sure that this is what I have and I haven't been diagnosed. And he interrupts me. He's like, "No, Danny, you have ADHD." And I was like,
Oh,
"Well, okay." Well, okay.
oh, well, there you go.
Well,
That counts for me.
thank you.
Again, too close to the picture. You need someone on the outside.
Right. But I mean, at that point, I was already like, I'm tagged in. I'm like,
Yeah.
I feel like you describing me like to a T whenever I like consume the content, So like,
Right. Right.
mm-mm. But yeah, so I'm gonna wrap up because I know we can keep going, and I know I'm gonna have you back. Um, I absolutely know that I'm
Conversation
gonna have you
too
back.
good.
So, and now I always enjoy our conversations. I enjoy your energy. I'm gonna ask the wrap up questions, and then I'm gonna give you an opportunity to talk about how people can connect with you. So, my
Okay.
first wrap up question is: tell me about your favorite pair of pajamas.
Oh, okay. So they're the ones I'm wearing right now. It is this really nice kind of
Oh, is that a
silk.
cat?
Yes, these are cat prints. Got my cat. I love them. One is enough for me though. I've got I've got a toddler. One cat is enough, but
Right.
love cat print. And then a pair of sweatpants that are like all black, comfy sweatpants. They've got like moon and star prints, so they kind of match this top. Super comfortable. I wear that every night, but laundry is a thing.
Gotcha. Look, I totally get it. So any type people say I usually like can identify with. Like I have every type of pajama that you can think of, like, because that's just my love language. Um, okay, so next question. My time freedom allows me to.
Oh, my time freedom allows me to go outside and do chalk drawings with the baby.
Mm,
I we just got chalk. It's been nice and warm out. He picks up the chalk, draws little doodles, tells me it's a kitty cat, and I cannot imagine spending my time in a better place.
I love it. I love it. And that time goes so fast. My husband hurt my feelings so bad yesterday because he said, just randomly, my child is 19 and I have accepted that. But he was like, "Yeah, we're about to have a 20-year-old, sir. That's a different decade.
Don't rub
Like
it in.
why would you
Right.
say that?
No, that's a baby. He's
Why
still a
would you say
baby.
that?" Like I still remember those moments. You know what I'm saying? Like why would you say that? But yeah,
Please, how dare
so
you?
enjoy, enjoy all of the little moments. And that's the thing is like we miss too many of them. So
Mhm.
enjoy and soak up all those moments with him. Okay, so next question. What's the best advice you can give anyone, excuse me, seeking the profits in pajamas lifestyle?
Mm. This is something that you and I talked about before. And basically, our conversation today is like, you do not have to move outside of your comfort zone in any space.
Yes.
You can, I mean, outside of your comfort zone, you're uncomfortable naturally. That's the point, right? But
Right.
you can't operate. You can't operate. You can't be you. You are an inauthentic version of yourself, and
Yes.
that inauthentic version is not going to succeed. And I don't mean like long-term success. I mean like in the task you were given. Then you
Yes.
can find exactly who you need out of yourself inside your comfort zone. You might be on the edge of it.
Right.
You might be close to outside, but operate inside your comfort zone. Accept what you do, who you are capable of, and work within that realm. You can do a
Yes.
lot inside your comfort zone, and your comfort zone will grow,
Yes.
but you never have to move outside of it and be who you are not.
Yes, yes, definitely. I'm team, authentic. I'm team embrace the things that make you uniquely you, right? Since we talked about that the other day, I think I did a video and I was talking about the difference. between growth and strain. And so the idea of something that might grow you, right? But you're still in that comfort zone of being yourself. It may grow you or challenge you in some way, but it's not a strain. A strain is like an injury and it hurts. And that's because you're outside of where you're supposed to be.
I mean, any runner or athlete will tell you like you, you need rest days. You
Right,
need to recuperate. Your body needs that time. If you
right.
keep pushing past that strain, you're gonna hurt yourself.
You're going to injure yourself. Yeah,
If that's the physical body, why isn't it the case for your mental self and your emotional self?
right. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, how can we get in touch with you? How can we book you for our events? Are we ready?
All the things. Okay, thank you. I so appreciate that. You can find me at my website, asiaognibene.com.
And I'm gonna put it in
Um,
the show notes because I already see y'all trying to
like
spell it.
that.
It'll be in the show notes.
Thank you. Thank you. My email is hello@asiaognibene.com. You will find me working mostly in the illustrated wedding stationery realm, the publishing book and editorial illustrations, and then, of course, visual note taking, where I come live and do all that note taking and illustration for you. But if you have like you're interested or really not sure, have questions about it, please feel free to talk to me. I love talking about visual notes. Like we talked about, not everybody knows it's a thing. I didn't a couple of years ago, and now here I am doing it. So I love talking about it. Um, Feel free to email me there. And then if you want to capture or see like little tidbits of life or my most updated work, I'm on Instagram at art.by.asia.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Y'all check her out. Like, it's just like just captivating. Like it's just captivating to see it. Um and you're just a great artist as well. So like, that just adds a layer to it, but it's really captivating to see if you are a visual learner, or sometimes you may not know that you're a visual learner because you were never afforded that kind of amenity to see it, right? Like you never got to see it, and so you don't realize that, wow, no, that draws me in. That information is now sticking with me. um Check it out, absolutely check it out. I'm already like, putting her in the budget for the summit for next year. Look, if any of y'all out there want to sponsor her for the summit for next year, just another shameless plug.
Yep.
But I learned about it. I'm so excited about it, and I want to experience it real time because it is just like it's just amazing. It just pulls so many different things together, and I think it's a great keepsake from your event as well, that you can keep your attendees engaged after the event.
Yep. 100%. The longevity of it is what keeps the event valuable, the information valuable, all that.
Right. And I mean, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I'm supposed to clean my office this week, and I have so many handouts and things and stuff from meetings, and it's like I don't want to get rid of it because sometimes I refer back to certain things, but at the same time, what if I just had like a one sheeter that like hit the main points for all of those things, and then I had just a stack of like 30, one sheeters instead of 30
Don't mind
big old binders and things that you know that
that.
I'm
I'm
like,
too.
I hate throwing this away, but at the same time, I honestly, at this point, will I even remember what this was about?
Oh, you and I are just alike in that. I don't want to throw it away because what if I need it? But also, I'm not.
Right. I'm like, if I flip through it, am I gonna be like, oh, this was this, or am I gonna be like, what the hell was this? Like, what was
I know.
this mean?
I'm always like, should have hired a visual note taker.
They should have hired a visual note taker. I'm just telling y'all right now, y'all messed up. You should have hired a visual note taker, and the people will remember. So, like, I don't mind a shameless plug. I do not.
Here you go.
Um, so I'm just telling y'all, instead of investing in all them booklets next year for your events this year, look, this year not over. Because we want to get Asia booked out for this year. So instead of, because especially printed material, now I love a printed something because again, ADHD visual, but instead of investing the dollars into that, invest the dollars into a visual note taker. Your people can see it happening real time, and they have something that's going to be meaningful to them, 5, 6 years from now, when they finally decide they want to do whatever the thing was that they was gung-ho about at the convention and never did, right? So when they finally decide, and like my grandmother would say, and the writing gets cold, she'd always say if somebody couldn't read her handwriting, oh, it's gotten cold. I don't know what that meant, but she would say that, right?
I love that.
So when the writing gets cold, are they still going to understand and be able to pull something meaningful? And visual triggers can bring you back to a place, right? And bring you
Yep.
back to a situation. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up. And I just want to thank you again, Asia, for being here, for sharing your, perspective and your light and love with us. And yeah, I know, this is not the last moment. This is just a moment.
Good.
But I'm glad that you have entered my stratosphere.
Me too. Thank you so much for inviting me and having me on and having another fantastic conversation. I am looking forward to the next time we talk, looking forward to just whatever we talk about. Whatever we talk about, I always have such a good time.
No, it's always a good time. It's absolutely always a good time. So thank you guys for being here and listening. Please go check Asia out. And, just like many of us, we have different parts of our business. She also does like stationery invitations and illustrations for books, like she said. So maybe, you're not hosting a meeting, but you're doing one of those other things. So, hit her up.
Let's talk.
All right, y'all. Y'all have a good week, and I will see you next week. Thanks for listening to the Prophets in Pajamas podcast. I hope you got some great tips to start working with these. Want to stay connected? Follow me at Your Workflow on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. For more information about creating balance in your life, register for my upcoming calendar detox challenge at CoachDanniD.com. Don't forget to subscribe, join the community, and book a call to find the workflow program that best fits your needs.